Hello everybody, my name is Niku and welcome to the Trading Setup channel. Many people believe that the more indicators they place on a chart, the more reliable the system becomes. In reality, it works the other way around. Excessive tools create noise, cause hesitation, and obscure what matters. Beginners get lost in colorful lines, switching timeframes constantly and try to force the market into a desired scenario and eventually lose control. That's why I want to break down an approach built on minimal tools, yet stable, clear, and logical even during volatile sessions. Watch to the end, you'll understand how to remove the unnecessary, keep only what works, and build a process where each step is deliberate. But first, an important note. I've created a dedicated resource for those who want to develop without chaos. It includes setups, detailed execution examples, explanations on how to configure key indicators, and materials on the risk calculations. All of this is free, but I continuously update the pinned materials, adding new observations, tables, and instructions, so it's better to follow the link under this video and take the materials while they are available. Now, let's move on to the core of this video. Okay, so today's strategy is going to be super simple. We're going to be looking at three things and we're going to be using two indicators to see what's going on the chart. First thing we're going to add, let's add our indicators first. We're going to add our trusted stochastic oscillator, tried and tested. A lot of people love this indicator, although a lot of people is using it in the wrong way, and I'll show you guys why in a minute. Next up, we're going to be adding the momentum indicator. We're not going to do any changes to the stochastic, but we are going to make some changes to the momentum. We're going to match the momentum to our stochastic period. So momentum period, we're going to set to 14 because my stochastic period is set to 14 candles as well. Okay, so those are the two indicators we're going to be using. And next up, we're going to be trading on a 30-second chart today. So we're going to make sure that our candle period is set to 30 seconds and we're going to be doing 2-minute trades. What we're going to be looking for is the following. The very first thing we're going to be looking for is whether price is moving in a trend or a range. We are looking for it. We want to be looking for trends today. This strategy is specifically for when price is trending. You are really going to struggle with this if price is moving like this. This is not a trend at all. Okay, so you're going to struggle if you're looking for entries when price is moving sideways, but we're going to be looking for entries on when price has started moving in a direction, and only once you are certain that there is an established trend. So make sure that there's a trend. We know a trend is defined as a bullish trend is defined as price making higher highs and higher lows, and a bearish trend is defined as price making lower highs and lower lows. So only once you observe this happening on the chart, you can start looking for entries with this strategy. Okay, so that's the first thing we're going to be looking for. We're going to see if we can find an asset that is trending. Next up, we're only going to be taking entries in the direction of the trend. We're not going to be going against it at all with this strategy. There is a lot of strategies that's based on reversals. Reversal strategies tend to work very well in ranging markets. When the price is ranging, reversal strategies tend to work really well. Today's strategy is a continuation strategy. These work well when price is actually moving in a clear direction, and you guys will see why in a minute. So these are our that's our first condition for the strategy. That's we need to find an asset that's trending. Now, if we are looking for buy entries, we're going to be looking for areas where the stochastic enters the overbought zone. So not the oversold. We're not going to be looking at the oversold area when price is moving upwards. In a bullish move or in a bullish trend, we're not going to be looking at the oversold area. We're going to be looking at the overbought area, which a lot of people might find tricky, but the correct way to really use the stochastic. It was designed as a continuation indicator. So the guys that built it to show where the price might continue its current move, and when the stochastic moves into the overbought zone, that tends to signal that price is going to continue its way upwards. Okay, so that's the first thing we're going to be looking for. Or the second thing we're going to be looking at is the stochastic. We might actually get an setup here, but let me explain further. So what we're going to look for now, we are in an established bullish trend. We have the stochastic in oversold area. We don't really care about that, except for that if it is an oversold, the next thing it's going to probably do is head towards the overbought area. And that's where we need to pay close attention. So what we're going to look for is price entering the overbought area, and at the same time we need to see a switch in momentum. So right now we have the momentum indicator is showing us bearish momentum, that is showing us that price has a little bit of bearish momentum. We can see that the stochastic is low. We're not even above 50 yet. Keep in mind that the stochastic indicator is a momentum indicator, same as the RSI. So while the stochastic is below the 50 line, it shows us that price has bearish momentum, and while the stochastic is above the 50 area, it shows us that price has bullish momentum. This is crucial to understand. Okay, so we're going to look for areas where the stochastic is entering the oversold area, overbought area, because we are in a bullish trend. We're going to do the exact opposite if we are in a bearish trend. But we're looking for areas now where price will enter, where the stochastic will enter the overbought zone. Once it enters the overbought zone, I need to see a switch on momentum, either on the candle where the RSI actually moves into the overbought zone, or the next one. If that doesn't take place, I'm not going to take an entry. Okay, so that's what it looks like, or that's what our strategy is going to be looking like. Like for example here, we are in an upwards trend, so we're not going to be looking at sell entries at all. Like I said, this is a continuation strategy, so that means we're going to go with the trend. Our entries are going to work off the probability that the trend will continue. That's why it's called a continuation strategy. So while we're moving upwards, I'm not going to be looking for sell trades at all. We're only going to look for sell trades in a bearish trade, and then this will be the stochastic and the momentum behavior here. If we ignore price completely, this is what a proper sell entry would look like if we were in a bearish move. We are not in a bearish move on this specific asset, so we would not take a sell trade, but we can see that the moment that the stochastic entered the oversold zone here, we can see a switch to bearish momentum. If this was a downwards trend instead of an upwards trend, I would have taken this entry here, no hassle. But because we are not in a bearish move, this would not be considered a decent trend. But we do, like I said, this is the ideal movement. We're seeing the momentum switch bearish. We're seeing the stochastic entering the oversold. This would have been what we wanted to see, but in a bearish move, not in a bullish move. Okay, so that's what our strategy looks like, and now that we understand what we're going to be using and how it works, we are ready to start hunting some entries. Okay, now that we know what we're looking for, I'm just going to start working through some assets and see if we can find any assets that are trending, and see if we can pick up some entries using this combination of indicators. So we're just going to go through the list. And right off the bat, I'm not interested in this. This is sideways movement. Even though we have been in a drop here, we can see that now price is moving sideways. So I'm not going to be interested when an asset, as soon as you can see an asset starts moving in a range, you can safely ignore that asset. We're not going to be looking for entries on this. Okay, so we're seeing an upwards move here. we can see that price is making a correction. This is not necessarily a range. It could be the beginning of one, but not necessarily. What we want to see is the stochastic going into or heading towards the oversold zone. We want to see the change in momentum. This is what we need, or what we can expect. And afterwards, we want to see the bullish change. We want to see the stochastic head back into the overbought zone, and we want to see a switch in momentum to bullish momentum. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like we're going to get that, so we're not really seeing what we wanted to, but we'll find something in a minute or two. Okay, so this again, we had price moving in a downwards direction, and we see a reversal here. Okay, so this could be price changing direction. We are making higher highs, we are making higher lows, because we have to drop way past here to make a lower low on this asset. So this could give us an entry soon as well. This could be the beginning of a new bullish trend. We will have to wait and see. Unfortunately, that's not ready for us. This is a bit of a range. Good upwards move here. You do not need to look at the overall the past 3 hours what price is doing. We just want to see the current move, and right now we are in a bullish move. Okay, so once price picks a direction, you can keep an eye on it, but this is in range at the moment. This has not picked a direction. We can see that the highs and lows are more or less the same value, so this is moving sideways. We don't have clear direction in this example. It's important that you distinguish between prices, it's important that you need to be able to identify where the price is ranging or trending. Trending means not necessarily has been falling for the last few hours. It's just that it means that if price is trending, it's moving in a general direction. We can see price making higher highs and higher lows, or lower lows and lower highs. But it's really important, especially if you're new to trading. It's one of the first things you should focus on learning, being able to distinguish at a glance between a ranging market or a ranging asset or a trending asset. Like this is not ranging. We are actually moving in a clear upwards movement. It's jittery. This is choppy. This is what we will refer to as a choppy asset. It's very volatile at the moment, but we do have very clear direction as well. Okay, so we are seeing the stochastic entering the overbought zone, but we had very bullish momentum for a while. We're not seeing a switch. Okay, so unfortunately we're not getting a trade on this. We'll just keep going through assets because it's a 30-second chart. We're not going to wait too long to see to find an entry. Again, this is not a bullish move. If we have a look at this, price was moving upwards. We see higher highs, we see higher lows. Should be clear, and this is only the beginning of a downwards move, so this is not an entry I'm going to be taking. I want to be in an established move. Okay, this is one of the most crucial parts of this, is that we do need to understand that we have to be in an established move. We want to continue. You cannot take a continuation trade at the start of a move, because there's no move to continue. It's that simple. However, this is looking good. Okay, because we were ranging here, but now we are in a clear downward movement. To show you guys that, maybe just to make it a little bit more clear, if you are able to do this on a price or on an asset, you can see that we are clearly in a downwards move at this point in time. This is what we want to see. You cannot draw it on this area. Draw the same thing on this area. It's going to look wonky. You're going to get points where price doesn't even come close. It's just as an example. There's no lines that constantly hit, or no peaks, highs and lows that constantly hit, whereas we can see the touches on this upper line. We can see the touches, or not necessarily a touch, but price is close to this. This makes sense. Drawing it like this makes a lot of sense. Drawing so we can see that we are in a downwards move. That's one of the quicker ways you can use to determine whether you are ranging or in a move. Okay, so we don't have the momentum here, unfortunately. We do see price heading towards the oversold area here, which is good, but we did not get any bullish momentum on this pullback here at all. Price never went bullish. We did not see, we have this one that's a positive histogram, but it's still a red histogram. Okay, we want to see some green and then back to red. That's what we want to see with this strategy. We have an upwards turn again, meaning that it could be not necessarily will. I never try to predict what price will do because I'm really bad at it. Personally, I think it's impossible to do so, but it is possible to identify areas where things might happen. As this current movement is telling me that we might see price come and test this again before it turns downwards. It might break through. I don't know what's going to happen, but the way that price is behaving now tells me that it is going to go for this upper channel line. Whether it's going to touch and pull back or break through and continue its way upwards from here, that is not something I know. But if I were using a strategy that depended on the channel lines, I would know that I need to pay close attention right now. Okay, so there's a big difference. I've had people say that I always tell people that you can't predict, but then I try to do it. I'm not trying to predict price movement at all. I never do, because it's impossible. However, I am constantly trying to identify areas where something might happen for one of my strategies. That's totally different. I don't trade it because I think it's going to happen, I don't take entries because I think something is going to happen. But if you can identify areas where you might get entries from your strategies, that will help you be ready for the event that your strategy does give you an entry and you can trade it and you won't be caught off guard. There's a difference in that. Okay, so let's see. Strong push upwards and then a strong push downwards. We've got the green on the momentum, which is what we want to see. Let me get rid of this channel because we know that it exists. We don't need to worry about it anymore. We are in a downwards move. If we see price continue downwards from here, and the stochastic does enter the oversold zone, and we do see a switching momentum to the negative, I will take a trade because we are in a clear downwards movement at the moment. This is downwards movement. We have not price has not changed direction yet. Let's just wait and see. This might take a minute or so. And again, for all I know, price can just continue its way upwards from here. I don't know. It's impossible for me to tell what price is going to do. But I can see that my strategy is setting up. It is busy setting up to give me an entry. Whether it will give an entry or not, I don't know. But I am ready for it. I'm not going to miss this entry if it does. If my strategy does give me a sell opportunity here, then I'll be ready. So let's see what's happening. We've got the switch over to bearish momentum on the momentum indicator. We can see our stochastic entering oversold here. So what I'm going to do is wait for the close of this candle. We've got 15 seconds left, and then I'm going to take my sell trade. The reason for that is I don't know if this candle is going to push up all the way. This candle could close green for all I know. There we go. We entered our position, 2-minute expiry. So my stochastic entered the oversold zone. We are in a downward trend. My momentum indicator switched to bearish momentum, and I simply entered the trade according to my strategy. Now I just need to wait it out. So we're going to sit on this for 2 minutes and see what happens. I think while this is open, let's add this to our hot bar here, up here. While this is open, let's see if we can maybe find something else or see a different asset that might be close to setting up. In the meantime, we'll keep an eye on this and we'll go back to this asset before this trade closes. Now we are in a downwards move here. No, that's a definite range there. See, this is looking good. This is the beginning of a decent push upwards, so I can keep an eye on this asset, because this is of the ones we've checked now, this one is the most likely to maybe make a pullback, or make a correction and then continue its way upwards. Whether it will or not, that's something I do not know. This as well, we might get an entry on off this. Also, I must not forget about that open trade though. We'll go back to it. We've got 15 seconds now. Let's go back to it. We do have 15 seconds left on this. 10 seconds now before this trade closes, and we'll see what happens. There we go. Good trade. I went with the direction. First off, this is the I went with the direction of the current move. Very simple. Identify the direction first, and then we had the pullback, the correction made in the trend, which is normal. Price does that when it's trending. It does make pullbacks, and we can see that we did make a pullback, and then price continued its way downwards, which is why this is a continuation strategy. We had the switch over to bullish momentum here, and then the switch back to bearish momentum, and when the switch happened, we also had the stochastic entering the oversold zone, and I just went along with that. Okay, let's have a look at this. This is going to take a few minutes before this will give us an entry. Same with this. Okay, so sometimes this is going to happen. You're going to see the pullback, but your momentum doesn't change, your stochastic doesn't really drop and come back. At the moment, the momentum is the one that's keeping us from this asset. We're not going to see a trade here. We want to see that switch to bearish momentum. We do want to see it, and then the switch back. There's the switch now. Okay, that's awesome. We'll come back to this if time permits, and if it does play out. Again, this is a decent downwards move, but we're not seeing the bullish switch over on a pullback. This is actually something that's not looking too bad. If price pushes up from here, we can see that we are in a well-established bullish move. We tested this level, price turned down at this level and made the correction, but it's had some trouble getting through this level when it did the second attempt, and now it's pushing back again. But we can also see that price is not really dropping below this level, so it's having trouble at both of these levels. This could be the beginning of a range. This is how you identify the big start of a range. This is what that could be, or this could be a reversal and we can see price tanking now. Could also happen, we don't know. We do have the switch over to bearish momentum on this correction. For now, I still consider this a correction. This could change if price continues its way down. This is a reversal, not a correction. There's no way of telling at this point in time, and we'll have to wait and see. But it could push up. It looks like it's dropping. Okay, so this is not going to give us an entry, this asset, not with this strategy anyway. Actually, I would like to just wait and see wait for the candle close. Okay, so the candle close happened and we are falling. This is a good setup. This could give us a decent entry. This is what we want to see. Price is moving upwards. We can see that very clearly. This is a correction, although we did not see the switch on the bearish momentum, unfortunately. So we haven't seen that yet. I would like to see some bearish momentum and then the switch over. Then I need the stochastic to pull into the overbought zone. I need to see the momentum then switch back to bullish. This is barely below the zero line, and if this pushes up, we're not going to see it's not going to show us bearish momentum. Okay, so we are switching over to negative. This is good. This is good for us. This from here, one of two things are going to happen. Either price is going to continue its way downwards, in which case we're not going to get an entry, or this can be the correction and price continues its way up. We have, let's draw this while this is happening. Okay, so this is what has happened. This is what has happened. Get hold of that. This is what has happened. Now, one of two things can happen. I was hoping we can make it dotted line. So we're either going to have that, or we're going to have this. No, wrong way around. So either this is going to happen, or this is going to happen. There's nothing else that can happen. And we now need to wait and see what is going to happen from here. We don't know. We can't predict what will happen. So it's impossible for me to say at this point, price is going to go up or price is going to go down. There's no way of telling what's going to happen. What I do know is that I am in an established upwards trend. My strategy is in the process of setting up. This is looking good. As it is right now, this looks good for an entry. We're going to get a candle close here. That's going to pull our stochastic probably up to around this area here. Let's have a look and see. If it closes green like this, there we go. Close enough. Stochastic is pulled up to this area here, which means I'm not in a trade yet, and I'm going to have to wait. So we're waiting to see what happens. There's a big green candle, and we can see this momentum going bullish here. We can see that this current histogram is above the 0 line. What I want to see now is the stochastic being pulled into the overbought area. Once this happens, there's my momentum switch. There we go. I can take my trade. The stochastic has been pulled into the, I might have been a bit hasty on this, but it's fine. Stochastic has been pulled into the oversold zone, overbought zone. Whereas the close of my entry should have been on the close of this candle, because if this candle drops the way it does, here's a great example of why to be patient with your entries. That was a bit of a reflex, and this might cost me because I jumped the gun just a little bit. My stochastic has not yet entered the oversold zone. When I opened this trade, it should have been on this candle here. I might get spared, but it's fine. I'm going to take another one on the close of this candle here, because now my conditions are 100% met. So I'm going to take another trade. Just going to wait for the close of the candle. Okay, so this second entry was taken according to my strategy. This is a good entry. This one I messed up a little bit. I'll be the very first to admit it, and that's why it's crucial to wait for your confirmation candle. This would have been our confirmation candle, and because it pulled back, because this candle pulled back and did not go up, my stochastic ended up on the close of this candle. The stochastic ended up not entering the overbought area, which is the condition for entry from my strategy. And this is the reason why we do not try to predict what price is going to do, because essentially this was a prediction, because my strategy requirements was not met when I opened that position. So technically this would be a prediction, and clearly I was almost very wrong on this entry here. But this second entry, there we go, first one spared me. The second entry was in line with my strategy, so this is a good entry to have taken. We're just going to wait this out, and we've got a few seconds left on this. Just wait and see what happens. 30 seconds left on this entry. It's looking good. It's not over until the huge lady has sung, but I really doubt we're going to miss this. I really doubt that we're going to lose this entry here. Okay, so important, wait for your confirmation candles. Make sure that once the candle closes, the stochastic is in the overbought or oversold area. There we go, good trade from our strategy as well. Okay, so very simple strategy if you stick to the rules. As with all the strategies, please practice this before you put it to use. Get used to it, make sure you understand it, and only then switch to your real account. Use a demo account, that's what they're for. And happy practice. Hope you guys come out with this. If you want a deeper understanding of these methods and want to see how they work in real time, I have a training module with live sessions, daily breakdowns, and practical strategies. There, we analyze the market step by step, study real scenarios, and practice techniques that will build systematic skill. You can send a request through the contact below this video. I personally review each message because audience focus and quality matters to me. Later, the project will become a fully closed club, so access in its current form will not remain forever. And be sure to subscribe to this channel. This is where you'll find breakdowns, educational episodes, and practical insights that help build a confident and structured approach. Each piece of content is built not on emotions but on logic and understanding of how the market works. And if you need a reliable foundation, you will find it here. I'll see you guys in the next video, and until then, may the pips be with you.